Do you guys have any idea about Indian polity?
Not much more, sir.
No idea. Let others as well as join, so that let others also join so that we can start together, because it's first class. If they miss the basics, they will miss everything. So you are having ample amount of time to revise history. So are you guys have you guys started to revise history? Yes. Okay, good enough. So I'll put the white screen on. Now, is the white screen visible clearly? Is the white screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we will be starting a subject called as Indian polity. Okay. We will be starting this subject. It is a very interesting subject. Okay. Now, do you have any idea about this subject? Any idea? Anyone having any idea? Some of you guys have taught Indian polity for 1 hour in the demo class. Okay. So I'll be starting everything from the scratch. Okay. So, do you guys have any idea about Indian polity? Any idea? Answer yes or no? Can you hear my voice? Can you guys hear my voice?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So,
You're
not audible.
audible.
No. So, but okay. So, like, what is Indian polity and how we need to learn the subject? That is very important. Okay. How we need to learn the subject, that is very important. So before going into Indian polity, we need to understand what has to be learned in this subject. Okay. How we will cover this subject? It's very easy to cover this subject. Okay. The first and the foremost thing what we are going to do, because I'll tell you an idea, I'll give briefly describe you how we are going to approach this, the entire subject. Okay. So first thing what you have to keep in mind is we don't have to mug up anything. Okay. We won't mug up anything. Only thing what we are going to do, we are going to understand the concept behind the topic. Okay. Any topic we are taking, we will try to understand the concept, and gradually things will you will understand. Like for example, any article we are dealing with, you will gradually settle down with that article if you know the concept well. Okay. So first thing in Indian polity is what we are going to do, we are going to do certain introduction, certain introductory topic. Just wait a minute. Certain introductory topic. Just wait a minute. What happened today? What we are going to do, we are going to do introduction of Indian polity. That is the first thing we are going to do. And we will take approximately 3 classes to cover this topic. Okay, 3 classes, because introduction will be huge, and that will set the basic basis for rest of the topic. 3 classes or 3 hours, you can say. Then what we are going to do, then we are going to do the preamble. Okay. Then we will do part one of the constitution, that is union and its territories. Union and its territories. Okay, this is the part one of the constitution, union and its territories. Then we are going to do part two of the constitution, that is citizenship. That is citizenship. How to get the citizenship, how to become an Indian citizen. Okay, and how we can lose our citizenship. Then we are going to do part 3 of Indian Constitution, that is fundamental right. Then we will do part 4, that is DPSP, that is directive principle of state policy.
Hello. Hello. I can't
Hello,
hear
बुढ़ा चल दे गया वो।
you.
tested circular.
Tipo भयो.
Can you hear my voice now?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
I
sir.
think there's a network problem.
Audible right now? Am I audible?
No.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, there was certain connection issue, I guess.
Mhm.
There was some connection issue, no issues. I'll start it again. Okay. So just wait a minute. We'll start the things again. Okay, just give me a moment. Okay, just give me a moment. I'll start the things again. Okay, now we'll start it again. See, once we are doing Indian polity, what we can do is we can divide Indian polity into multiple parts. Okay, am I audible now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
So the first thing what we are going to do, we are going to do the introductory part of Indian polity. This is the first thing what we are going to do, and we will take approximately 3 hours to cover this topic, to cover the introductory part of Indian polity. Okay, then we are going to deal with the preamble. Then we are going to deal with the preamble of Indian polity or preamble of Indian constitution. Okay, the next thing we will be doing is part 1 of the constitution, that is union and its territories. For example, India and its states. For example, we will learn India as a whole, and we will also deal with various states of India, that is like Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, all the states we will be covering here. Then what we will do, we will talk about the citizenship, how a person can get Indian citizenship, how a person can lose its Indian citizenship. So we will be doing citizenship. And the third topic, the third thing we are going to do is fundamental rights. After that, we will be doing DPSP, Directive Principles of State Policy, Union, and various miscellaneous topic. If you cover this way, the entire topic of Indian polity will be covered and nothing will be left. Okay, so you don't have to worry. Whatever I am teaching, you just learn that. Apart from that, nothing will come in your examination. I assure you that with 100% guarantee. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now let us move to Indian polity. Now we'll start from here. Polity. Now, what do you think is a what do you think is the most important thing for governing a country like India? What is the most important thing for governing a country in India? What is it? What?
Government.
A good diplomatical relationship between countries.
diplomatic relationship between countries.
Yeah.
That is the most important thing.
Government.
No, not exactly. What is the what is the most important thing? What is the most important thing for governing a country like India? What is the
Rules
most
and regulations.
rules and regulations? Okay, in order to govern any country, rules and regulations are very much important. You are absolutely right. Sonam has also answered this, and many people have answered. Okay, rules and regulations for governing a country like India. For example, if this is India, okay, the rules and regulations are very much important. Now, where is this rules and regulations written?
Our constitution.
Constitution. So directly the rules and regulations are mentioned in the constitution. So you can say that constitution is the most important thing for governing a country.
Yes, sir.
Directly you can say no, constitution
Yes, sir.
contains rules and regulation. So constitution is most important thing for governing a country.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, if somebody ask you why constitution is important, if
Because it has
somebody
rules and regulations.
it has rules and regulation, you will say that that's why constitution is important. For example, now I'll give you another
It's
point.
also the blueprint of how a country will govern.
Now I'll ask one question to you. Okay, I'll ask one question to you. You have absolutely brilliantly quoted that constitution contains rules and regulations, that is why constitution is important. Okay, now give me an answer. For
Mhm.
example, you have taken a notebook, you have taken a book. Okay, in this rules and regulations are written. In this rules and regulations are written. Okay, and on other hand you are having a constitution. On other hand you are having a constitution which also consists of rules and regulations. Now just tell me which one is important.
A constitution.
You only told me that anything with rules and regulation is important.
Okay.
See, obviously constitution is important. Constitution is important because it is legally accepted by the entire nation.
Mm.
Got it?
Yes, sir.
Anything with rules and regulation is not acceptable. For example, you are writing some rules and making some rules for entire country. Nobody is going to listen to that rules and regulations, and
Mm.
nobody is going to abide by those rules and regulations. Constitution is considered as most important part of our nation, or most important thing in our nation, because it consists of rules and regulations, and the entire nation has agreed that we will abide with this constitution.
Mm.
Okay, and this constitution is formed by legal law. Okay,
Okay,
so
sir.
that is why constitution is important. So you are clear with one thing, right? The first thing you are clear here is constitution consists of certain rules and regulation. Okay, now constitution is important because it's a document which has certain legal sanctity, or it is accepted by everyone. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So can we start Indian polity with your permission?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So write down polity and try give the subheading constitution. Constitution. We'll start from basics. Okay, write down. It's a legal document, or it's a document. Write down. It's a document. It's a document which enjoys document which enjoys it's a document which enjoys special legal sanctity. Legal sanctity. That means it is It is created by the legal process, or it is created by the law of the land. You can write in bracket, it is created by legal process. So one thing you are very much clear. So we are having a constitution. We are having a constitution. Okay. And this constitution is a document. This constitution is a document. Give emphasis to each words. Okay. Because we are going to derive lot of stuffs from these words. So it is a document which enjoys certain legal sanctity or certain legal powers. Okay. Because it is created by a legal process or the law of the land. Okay. It enjoys certain legal powers. Clear? Because it's created by legal process. Clear? This much is clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, anyone repeat this? Whatever I have told you, can you repeat this? Anyone online who can unmute themselves? Just tell me in your own words, what is constitution?
Constitution, it's a document which enjoys special legal sanctity. It is created by legal process.
Like legal sanctity means legal powers. It has certain legal powers. Okay. Okay. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, if I ask you, now you have understood, constitution is a document that has some legal powers. Now, if I ask you, what does this document consist of? What does this document consist of? One thing you have told me that it has certain rules and regulations. You have told me that one thing you have told me is that it consists of certain rules and regulations. Apart from this, sorry, what does the constitution consist of? Apart from this, what does the constitution consist of?
Our rights.
Apart from that, rights, I agree. Okay, now listen. If I say constitution consists of principles, certain principles and functions. Now listen to the each and every word very carefully. Certain principles and functions of organs of state. Would you agree to it? Don't agree. Because if you agree to it, how will I explain, right? Tell me, what do you have understood from this? What do you have
Sir,
understood?
sir,
Hmm.
it has functions because it has some roles to perform, and
Hmm.
it. So another what you said. What was it? What was it, sir? So it has.
It
So yes, it does has the organ of the government like legislature, executive, and the judiciary.
hmm.
Like and then they have to work. They are also known as the horizontal distribution of power because one organ cannot perform independently
Hmm.
because they check upon each other function. So it has a lot of function and principles to perform. Sorry,
Hmm.
functions and organs.
Hmm. You have complicated everything.
Okay, sir. I hope you are there to solve the complication.
Have you been to southern part of India?
Southern, sir, not much.
Hmm. Which state you have been to southern part?
Southern, sir, sir, Kerala.
Kerala you have been. Have you
Yes,
had sambar?
yes, sir, sir, yes, sir.
Like in that sambar, when you make no sambar with idli, it's a curry there. You
Yes,
put
sir.
all the vegetables,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
like your answer was also in a similar manner. You have mixed the. Now
O-
see, if you learn like this, no, I am not denying that you said it rightly or wrongly, but I'm saying that it was very complicated.
okay,
Okay,
sir.
now I'll make it simple for you. Just forget everything what I have said. Now understand. Now listen. Whenever we are learning polity, when we use the term state, whenever we are learning polity as a subject, whenever we are learning polity, when we use this term state, 90% of the time it will be referring to it country or nation. Okay, whenever we are doing the subject polity, country, this means state will refer to India. Otherwise, if I am referring to Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Maharashtra, I would specify I am talking about particular states of India. Okay,
Yes,
is
sir.
it clear? Okay,
Yes.
Yes, sir.
whenever I'm using the term state, I'm referring to a country or the nation India. Okay, now understand, understand this state would have various organs, like the entire state would have various organs. Okay, now these organs would have different roles to play. Okay, this state would have different organs, various institutions would be there in a particular country. For example, if you are talking about India, in India there would be various institutions, various organs which have different role to play. Okay, now understand, now don't think that like for example, I'm complicating the things. Just understand the basics, because I'll tell you all these things in a while. Okay, now this state would have various organs, various institutions under that. Now what does constitution tells us? Constitution tells us, like, for example, there are three organs, A, B, C. Now constitution will tell us on what principles these organs of state should function, on what principles, what should be the principles that A, which is an organ of state, B, which is an organ of state, C, which is an organ of state, on what principles they are working, and what should be their functions, what should be their functions. Clear? So state, it indirectly means that state has various organs. For example, I have taken three organs, A, B, C, and constitution will tell us what, on what principles A should function, on what should be the principles for B, and what should be the principles of C, and what should be their functions. Because constitution will tell you can do this, you cannot do this. Somehow they are creating a restriction, the constitution is creating a restriction on the organ of state. Clear or not? Not clear?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
How many of you are not clear with it? Everyone is clear? if
Yes,
if
sir.
you are not, if you are not clear, just listen here. For example, for example, just if there is a state, or you what you call it as a country.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have to write it here, because when I write it here, the margin comes. Okay, if there is a state or country, suppose it's India, suppose it's India, and India has, suppose, various organs. This state has various organs, A, B, and C. So constitution defines, constitution defines on what principles A should function, what are the principles of A, on what principles B should function, what principles C should function, and constitution will also tells about their functions as well. Clear? So anything to look into, for example, A needs to look into anything regarding their principles and function, they will look into the constitution. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So what we have learned till now, constitution is the most important document of this nation, because it has certain legal sanctity. It has certain legal sanctity. It consists of principles and functions. It consists of principles and functions of organs of the state. Clear? Clear?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So please, what you have written till now, it is a document which enjoys legal sanctity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right on the next point. It contains the principles. It contains the principles and functions. It contains the principles and functions. of the organs. It contains the principles and functions of the organs of government of a state. It contains the principles and functions of the organs of the government of a state, or you can say organs of the state. It contains principles and functions of the organs of a state. Now, look here very carefully because now I am going to use it for further explanation of the topic. Now, we have done constitution and we have read that it is the most important document of this country. Most important document, most important document of the country. Okay, it is the most important document of the country because this document has some legal sanctity. That is, it has certain legal powers because it is created by law of land. Okay, that I'm not writing. Second thing, what does this document? It consists of principles and functions of organs of state. It consists of principles and functions of organs of state. Are you clear with this? Are you clear with this?
Uh,
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Anybody having any doubt? Because we are going to make it more complicated. Now, I told you what is the state here referring to? Is it referring to Sikkim, Meghalaya, all those Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, or is it referring to something else? What is state referring here?
it's
The
ref
country.
country.
It is referring to the country. That means it's referring to India. Agreed?
Yes, sir.
It is referring to India and it is referring to nation. Okay. Now, if I ask you, or if somebody asked you, what are elements of state? What are elements of state? What will be your answer? What are elements of state? Tell me. Are you can answer wrongly. I don't mind. I want you to give wrong answers. Revat says population. Good. Population is one of the element. Right. Further elements. Territory is one of the element. Okay, agreed. Legislation is not an element. Saroj.
Border.
I could not hear you, dear.
Border.
No. Reva says government. Reva has answered three elements correctly. One more is left. Demography is not the correct answer. Reva has answered all the four thing. Uh, okay. Now this state has four elements. Now just listen. Just listen very carefully. Constitution is the most important document of the country. It has certain legal sanctity, that means legal powers, and it defines principles and functions of organs of state. Now we are going to pick this word state. This state has four elements. Now I'm going to switch the slide. State has four elements. Okay, now what are the four elements of state? Number one, now first element, for example, if this is the state I am talking about, if this is the state I am talking about or country I am talking about, the first element is definitely any country should have a territory, right? Territory. That is the first element. From north to extreme south, from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, from the borders of Rajasthan to the northeastern border, not exactly the border, somebody answered it border, but not exactly. Okay, not exactly the borders, all the entire territory, the entire territory of India, the entire territory of India is the part of state. Agrees? The first element is territory. Are you clear with it?
Yes, sir.
The first element is territory. Now, the second element definitely Revaj, Sanki, all Selena, all these people will be residing in this territory. Okay, you all will be residing in this territory. Okay, you all will be residing in this territory. So second element of the state is population. Second element of the state is population. Okay, so the first element of the state is territory. I'll write it here. The second element of the state is population. Okay, clear with it?
Yes,
You're
sir.
clear with the second element of the state?
Yes, sir.
Now, I'll tell you one more thing. Now, definitely, if you are left over the territory of India, like all those people who are in this class are left over the territory of India, and you are asked to lead the way you want, definitely you will involve yourself in tussles. Okay, definitely you will get involved in yourselves in tussles. So there should be one or two people, or there should be a group of people to govern you. Agreed. But the third element of state is government. Government, out of this population there should be key people to govern you. So the third element of state is government. Okay, now the fourth element of the state is the fourth element of what is the fourth element of state? Revaj has answered already. I have given already the answer. It is sovereignty. It is sovereignty. Sovereignty simply means freedom. Sovereignty simply means freedom. Okay, I'll further elaborate it later. So have you understood the four elements of the state? The first element of state is territory. Okay, the territory of our nation. The second element of state is the population which is residing in the state. The third element is government. The fourth element is sovereignty. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Clear? So write down four elements of state or nation. Four elements of state or nation. Number one, territory. Territory. Put a hyphen and write down land that comes under a state. Land that comes under a state. Okay, land that comes under a state, or land that is acquired by a state. That is acquired by a state. Okay, this is territory. For example, if you see the example of India, we have so many areas from Maharashtra, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Sikkim, Meghalaya. All these areas comes under, like, these territories comes under India. So that is the first thing, land that comes under a state. Suppose tomorrow we are going to have a war with Pakistan and we acquire Lahore and Karachi. Okay, we acquire Lahore and Karachi, and that will be also the part of state if we acquire any territory. So land that comes under a state, or that land that is acquired by a state, it is part of territory. You are clear with territory? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now write down population. Population, put a hyphen and write, it is the number of people, it is number of people residing in a particular state. It is number of people residing in a particular state. That is population. Now we are clear with two elements of states, that is state. We are clear with two elements. The first element was
Territory.
Territory.
territory. Okay, very good. The second element was
Population.
population. That is also good enough. Now, the third element is government. Now, the third element is government. Now, when I ask or when I tell you, like the third element is government, how many types of government are there? How many types of government are there in a state, or how many types of government are there in this country called as India?
Three.
Three. Tell me.
Judiciary, legislative, and
No, you are still hanging in judiciary legislator. That is not the types of government here.
okay.
Amir says Lok Sabha, no. Reva says democratic, no. How many types of government are there in this country? How many types? Saroj says union, central, state, and local. Somebody has answered it. One of the you has answered it.
Mm.
Okay, two, three. Okay, I'll tell you. See, these are very basic things and these are very important things. See, once you complete this entire polity, no, so once you complete this entire polity, you will be, I'll make you so capable that you will be able to argue with anyone on the grounds of the constitution, or you will be able to argue with anyone on the grounds of logical reasons. Rather than just putting your words forward, you will be able to substantially argue with anyone. Okay. So that I'll make sure that you are capable of it. So just attend all the classes, just understand the concept, and if you are any doubt, if you are having any doubt, feel free to ask. Okay, see, there are three types of government. Number one, union government. Number one is union government, or which you call as center government. Center government, which governs the entire country, which governs the entire country. For example, BJP NDA government is ruling, Modi ji is the prime minister, so there is union government. Okay, which governs the entire country. I'll write it here, governs entire country. Okay, it's not coming here. Okay, which governs entire country. Then you have state government. For example, state government of Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Sikkim. Okay, Sikkim, Meghalaya, Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, all those state governments are there. Okay, so union government for the entire country, state government. Okay, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Sikkim, Uttar Pradesh. You understood these two types of government? Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Now there is a third type of government called as local self government. Local self government. Now, what is this local self government? I'll tell you. This is the third tier of government in a country. The first tier, the first tier of government is this one, union government. This is called the first tier of government. State government is the second tier of government, and local self government is the third tier of government. Okay, now this is, you have you heard about panchayat? Have you heard about panchayat?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Have you heard about municipalities?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So these are part of the local self government or the third tier of government. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Write down, government can be divided into three types. Government can be divided into three types. Union government, union government, or central government. Union government or central government, which governs the entire country. Union government or central government, which governs the entire country. Number two, state government. State government, which governs particular states of India. State government which governs particular state of India. For example, for example, state government of Tamil Nadu, state government of Tamil Nadu, Kerala, state government of Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Sikkim, Uttar Pradesh. You can write example. State government of Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Sikkim, Uttar Pradesh. You can write any example if you want. Write down. Third, local self-government. It is the third tier of government. It is the third tier of government. It is a third tier of government. It includes panchayat and municipalities. It includes panchayat and municipalities. It includes panchayat and municipalities. Clear? Written?
Yes, sir.
Have you written? Can anybody like tell me about the three elements of state? Can anybody tell me about the three elements of state? Repeat. Tell. I'm waiting for your answer.
So population, government, and
Population, government, and your voice is not clear here.
territory.
Territory. What are the three types of government?
Union, state, and
Union, state, and
self government. Local self
Oh,
government.
what is union, state, and local self government? Okay. Now, the fourth element is a very interesting element. You need to understand about it. I'll write it here only. The fourth element is sovereignty. The fourth element is sovereignty. Sovereignty simply means, usually if I tell you that you are a sovereign person, that means you are having certain freedom. Okay, freedom. Now, in polity's term, what do you mean by sovereignty? It simply means supreme decision making, supreme decision making power. Okay, it simply means the nation is absolutely free to make any decision or to take any decision. Okay, now understand. Okay, the fourth element of state is sovereignty, that is supreme decision making power. Okay, supreme decision making power. Okay, you can make any decision without any pressure. Okay, now have you understood what sovereignty is? It's a supreme decision making power. You can, for example, you are a sovereign person. If you want to go for a movie late night, you are absolutely free to go for a movie. If you want to have a special food that is as per your liking, you are a sovereign person, you can absolutely like have that special food. And if you want to make a special friend in your life, you can make, but you are restricted by the powers of your parents as well. That is the constitution. Okay, so you have to understand all these things. Sovereignty, you understand, that is supreme decision making power. Clear?
yes, sir.
Yes,
Now
sir.
just tell now just tell me one thing. I'll share one important story with you. I was teaching in one of the offline classes. Okay, one of the offline classes I was teaching in Delhi, and the classes was full, like more than 400 to 500 students were there, and the polities 450 students around were there, and it was a polities class. So, like, most of the syllabus was over. Like, I was teaching the last part of polity, and there was a guy in the class. He was looking at his phone constantly. He was looking at his phone. So what I did, and he's very, otherwise I maintain a very friendly relation with my students. So I told him, his name was Sonu. I told him, Sonu, give me your phone. You're not able to focus. I took his phone, and without saying a word, he gave me his phone. I kept the phone on the podium, and after some time, his phone started vibrating. His phone started vibrating, and on the true, like when someone calls, like someone calls you, the contact appears on the screen. No, so it was written Supreme Court. It was written Supreme Court. So I told him that you are getting a call from Supreme Court. Who is calling you from Supreme Court? So everybody started laughing. So he told me that after learning the polity, he has kept his father's name as Supreme Court and saved his father's name as Supreme Court in the contact. So see, it is a fun subject. If you take it as a burden, if you take if you take it as burden, it will be a burden throughout your life. If you enjoy the subject, you will be able to argue with anyone. But don't use article to argue with your parents. They can just like kick you out of the house. Then that for that I won't be responsible. Anyways, sovereignty is the supreme decision making power. There are two types of sovereignty. Samir says we also keep wife's name as home minister. That is absolutely true. Good. Okay. Sovereignty, supreme decision making power. Okay. Now there are two types of sovereignty: internal sovereignty, and external sovereignty. Internal sovereignty and external sovereignty. These are the two types of sovereignty. Okay, internal sovereignty and external sovereignty. Now, anyways, so it is a supreme decision making power. Now, what do you mean by internal sovereignty? And what do you mean by external sovereignty? Please tell. Now you can tell one more thing. Sir, we are giving money to the institution to learn from you and you are asking us questions. No, you have to tell. But you tell. No idea. Amir says no idea. बताओ भाई, somebody was telling, no, she will link everything to legislative executive. Tell what is internal sovereignty and external sovereignty. Where is that person?
So internal
Continue. Hmm.
sovereignty means within the country.
Hmm.
Uh, External means out of the country, sir.
Very good. Very good. See, internal sovereignty means the nation can make any law. The nation can make any law within the country. The nation can make with any law within the country without any external pressure. Without any external pressure. Simple. The nation can make any law within the country. The nation can make any law within the country without any external pressure or any pressure. That is internal sovereignty. That means we as a nation is very much free or very much free to take any decision within our country. Clear? Clear? Internal
Yes, sir.
sovereignty.
Yes, sir.
Now, what do you mean by external sovereignty? For example, we are signing a treaty with Russia. We are signing an agreement with Russia. India is signing an agreement with Russia. Okay. India is signing an agreement with Russia. Okay. So USA cannot stop us and tell, no, you cannot sign an agreement with Russia because we are having a tussle with Russia. No, no. We are not bound to listen to USA. It's our wish that we are listening to USA or not. For example, if India is helping Ukraine, if India is helping Ukraine with something and Russia says no, India cannot help Ukraine, we will say, who are you? Who are you to stop us? Because we are an externally sovereign country. We can make our decision. We don't need anyone to like stop us from doing anything. So on international fronts, we are able to free to take our decisions. Nobody can stop us from taking any decisions. So internally also we are free country, or externally also we are free country. For example, for example, if you understand the international politics, I'll take you to the international politics also. See, if you understand international politics, USA is a major power. On other hand, Russia is a major power. Okay, now Russia is having a war with Ukraine. Russia is having a war with Ukraine. Now, what Russia now? Do you know why Russia is having this war with Ukraine? Do you know it? Why Russia is having this war with Ukraine?
A little
Security.
bit.
Being Ukraine wants to be a part of the NATO that is threatening Russia.
Ukraine wants to be part of NATO. Okay. What is NATO? Any other answers? Any other answers? He correctly answered. Any other answers?
North Atlantic Treaty Organization.
North Atlantic Treaty Organizations. Very good. See, I'll tell you something. See, after the Second World War, like Second World War ended, Second World War, Second World War ended in 1945. So 1939 to 1945, there was Second World War. Okay, 1939 to 1945, there was Second World War. After Second World War, there were two major powers in the world. Okay, there were two major powers in the world after the Second World War. I'll write it here. Second World War. Okay, 1939 to 1945. Okay, after this war ended, you don't have to write all these things because it's not part of polity, but I'm explaining you the concept. You will understand the international politics much easier. Okay, two powers. The first power was USA, and the second power was USSR, which is now Russia. Okay, so obviously, USA wanted lot of countries to their side. Okay, USA wanted lot of countries with them, so they made an organization, or they made a group called as NATO, North Atlantic, North Atlantic Treaty Organization. North Atlantic Treaty Organization, this is NATO. Okay, so all those countries supporting USA joined this group. Okay, and USA was heading this group, North Atlantic Treaty Organization. So NATO is that, if you call NATO, it is USA and its allies, or you can call USA and its friends have formed NATO. On other hand, USSR also formed an organization. What was the organization's name? What was the organization's name? Tell me.
Soviet Union.
Soviet Union.
No, no. Soviet Union is the other name given to USSR. What was the organization they formed? It was Warsaw Pact.
Oh, what's the pact?
It was Warsaw Pact. Now, where is this Warsaw?
Poland.
It is in Poland. Okay, it is in Poland. Okay, so basically, all those friends of USSR met in Warsaw at Poland, and they signed an agreement. So all those countries who were supporting USSR at that time came to Warsaw, which is in Poland, and they signed an agreement called as Warsaw Pact. So their organization's name was Warsaw Pact. Now, this happened in 1939 to 1945. You had the World War. After World War, USA and its friends formed. USA and its friends formed what? NATO. That is North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Counter to that, USSR formed Warsaw Pact. Okay, Warsaw Pact. See, this is not having any relevance with your polity syllabus. This has relevance with your international relations syllabus. But I'm explaining you so that you also understand what is going around the world and why it is going. Now, understand what happened. What exactly happened is, as time passed, in 1991, USSR got disintegrated. USSR got disintegrated. And USSR became Russia. Okay, Russia, USSR fragmented itself into various other countries. Now, the relevance of Warsaw Pact was over because USSR was not there. Now, what happened? There is a country near Russia now. Now, USSR is lost, no relevance to USSR. Now, here Russia is there, and there is a country near Russia which is Ukraine. Russia, which is Ukraine. Okay, now all the countries, most of the countries, you cannot say all, most of the countries surrounding Russia are supporting Russia. For example, be it Poland, be it any country, Czechoslovakia, they have an allegiance to Russia. They are friends of Russia. But this Ukraine, which is very close to Russia, is a very good friend of USA. Okay, now what did USA tell Ukraine? USA told Ukraine, okay, USA told Ukraine, do one thing. You are my dear friend. You join my group NATO. You join my group NATO. Okay, USA told Ukraine, you are a very good friend of mine. You join the group NATO. Now, what if Ukraine joins the NATO? The major problem if Ukraine joins the NATO, see, NATO will give weapons to Ukraine. NATO has an army which can be stationed here. Indirectly, USA's army can use the land of Ukraine, and which is a very worrying sign for Russia. Very worrying sign for Russia because Ukraine's land can be used against Russia. So Russia told Ukraine, dear Ukraine, don't join NATO. Let us reside peacefully. Let us reside peacefully. Don't join NATO. But on other hand, USA was, nahi, you join. You join. If Russia does something, I'll take care of it. So Mr. Vladimir Putin, one of the most powerful president of the world, attacked Ukraine. Now, what did USA say? It's your fight, you deal with it. I'm not into it. Okay, so USA provoked Ukraine to join NATO. Okay, now you understood this concept,
Yes, sir.
everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay, see, now understand. Now, what like India is a very good friend of Russia. Okay, India is a very good friend of Russia. Now, India, what does India do? India purchases lot of oil from Russia, oil and natural gas. Oil and natural gas. Okay, and Russia is, since it India's a very good friend. Russia is India's very good friend. Yeah, Russia gives this oil and natural gas at a comparatively lower price what it gives to other countries. So India was enjoying this price reduction. Okay, India was enjoying this price reduction. Now Europe and USA had a problem with it. The entire Europe and USA had a problem with India because these countries, Europe and USA, were supporting Ukraine. They were saying, these European people and USA's diplomats were saying, if India is buying oil from if India is buying oil from Russia and natural gas from Russia, obviously we are paying some money. We are paying some money. Okay, we are paying some money to them, and that means they are using this money against the war against Ukraine. They are using this money against war against Ukraine. So they are saying India is indirectly funding the war. That means if we are purchasing oil and natural gas from Russia, we are giving some money to Russia. That means Russia is using that money against the war against Ukraine, the war against Ukraine. So Europe and USA said that India should not purchase oil from Russia. So you understood this concept, this much you understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Is it getting complicated?
No, sir.
No, sir.
See, this is part of international politics. You don't have to see it from the Indian perspective. It's not part of your syllabus right now, but just I explained you. Now, Europe pointed out that Europe and USA pointed out India should not buy oil from Russia. Now, when, like Amir rightly said, when S. Jaishankar, India's foreign minister, he was giving a interview. He was giving a media interview. At that time, one of the media person highlighted this. The media person said, "Okay, Europe and USA are constantly saying that India is funding the war against Ukraine. India is funding the war against Ukraine." So S. Jaishankar asked how we are funding the war against Ukraine. So the media person said that India is directly purchasing oil and natural gas from Russia. That means you are giving Russia money, and Russia is using that money against war against Ukraine. S. Jaishankar said that. His reply was very awesome reply. Amir rightly said. He said that Europe's problem is the world's problem. has asked, right?
Hello,
Chimila has asked. Huh.
hello,
You want to ask? You want to ask some question?
hello.
You want to ask some question? You want to ask some question? Am I audible clearly?
Yes, sir,
Yes,
you are.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, S. Jaishankar gave a beautiful answer. S. Jaishankar said, "See, Europe's problem is the world's problem, but the world's problem is not Europe's problem. Like, for example, if Europe is having any problem with any country, the world should take care of it. The world should indulge in it. But if any country is having any problem, the Europe will not indulge with it. So, S. Jaishankar said, Europe is having a problem with Russia. That means it has to be the world's problem. India has to indulge in it. But if India has any problem, Europe will never indulge into it. This was the answer of S. Jaishankar. He's one of the like powerful diplomat of the country. Okay, so he answered it beautifully, and the media person had no other answers. And one more thing he answered is, I'll tell this in Hindi. He said, अगर मुझे कोई सामान खरीदना है, if I have to buy something, if I have to buy something, I'll go with a bag into the market. मैं मार्केट में एक बैग लेकर निकलता हूं. If I'm getting something cheaper, I'll buy that from that person. मुझे कुछ सस्ते में मिल रहा है तो I'll buy from that person. For example, if I want oil from the market, I will explore around, in and around. If Russia is providing me cheap oil at a cheaper price, oil at a cheaper price, and natural gas at a cheaper price, I'll buy from Russia. I won't hesitate to buy. Okay, so whoever is providing me oil and natural gas at cheaper price is my friend. So this was S. J. Shankar's answer. You understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
My question is, I've explained you all this scenario, North Atlantic Treaty, Warsaw Pact. My question is, why could Mr. S. Jaishankar, External Affairs Minister, Foreign Minister of India, could answer this, that India will do whatever they want. India will buy or oil and natural gas from Russia. Who the hell are you to stop us? Why could S. Jaishankar say that?
Be- because India took sovereign decisions
Yes,
since the
because
beginning.
India is an externally sovereign country. Nobody can impose their decisions on us. Nobody can force decisions on us. Nobody can stop us from doing anything because we are a sovereign country. Got the point clear?
Yes, sir.
Write down supreme sovereignty. Sovereignty. It simply means supreme decision making power. It simply means supreme decision making power. So now I'll answer your question in 1 minute after completing this. Okay. It simply means supreme decision making power. India enjoys India enjoys internal sovereignty as well as external sovereignty. India enjoys internal sovereignty as well as external sovereignty. Write down internal sovereignty. India can take any decision. India can take any decision or create any law. India can take any decision or create any law. India can take any decision or create any law which would be binding, which would be binding on every individual and institution, which would be binding on every individual and institution. And this can be done, and this can be done without any interference, and this can be done without any interference. That means India as a country, that means India as a country, internal sovereignty means internal sovereignty means India can like make laws, India can make laws, India can take any decision. So it would be binding on people of this country, all the people it would be binding. Okay, it would be binding on every institutions of this country, it would be binding on all the institution of this country. Okay, laws and decision India can make which would be binding on people and institution of this country. Okay, and with this can be done without any interference. Okay, now have you understood this? Have you understood this?
Yes, sir.
Write down external sovereignty. India can take, India can take any foreign decisions. India can take any foreign decisions or can have independent foreign policies, or can have independent foreign policies without any external pressure, without any external pressure. Okay, now I'll ask, so now I have seen your question, I'll answer it. Before that, let me sum up till here. So we, what we have done, because you, if I answer you in between, because your question is something different, if I answer you, you will lose the continuity. Okay, so what we have learned till now: constitution, we have learned constitution. Okay, constitution is a legal document. Okay, and in this document, constitution is a legal document, and in this document, what it consists of, it consists of principles and functions. I'll write it here, wait. It consists of principles and functions of organs of state. Okay, state here means country, or you can tell it as nation, or there are four elements of state. State has four elements, four state elements are there. Okay, number one is territory, number two is population, number three is government. Okay, number three, government can be divided into three parts: union government, state government, local self government, that is municipalities and panchayat, and sovereignty, that is supreme decision making power. That is, you have two types of sovereignty: internal sovereignty as well as external sovereignty. That means India can make any laws or take any decisions within the country without any interference, and we can conduct our foreign relation and take any external decision without any interference. Clear? Is this much clear? Right
Yes, sir.
now, Sonam has asked a very intelligent and a very good question. Asking just, I'll repeat her question. Asking just out of curiosity, if India is getting oil in less price, then why oil prices are getting high every time? Now, Sonam, I'll give you an answer to this. See, every day, Sonam, every day, there is fluctuations fluctuations in price of crude oil that we get from international market every day. Okay, for example, if it is, for example, if it is $100 billion for one barrel, for example, I'm stating an example, $100 billion for one barrel, tomorrow it can be 200 billion, day after it can be 150 billion. So there is fluctuations in the prices of oil that we get from international market, and it happens every day. Okay, for example, if India has, India depends on oil, like India depends on various countries for oil. For example, one of the country is Russia. One of the country is Russia. The other country is OPEC countries. Have you heard about OPEC countries? Have you heard about OPEC?
Yes,
No, you haven't heard.
yes, sir. Hard.
OPEC. It is Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries. Okay, those countries, Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries. Okay, so these are OPEC countries. There are many countries of Middle East, Gulf countries, USA, which are part of OPEC. Okay, so India gets oil from OPEC countries. Russia russia India gets petrol, crude oil from Gulf countries. A lot of countries India gets oil. Okay, so now clear. Now understand one thing, Middle East also. Now understand, for example, for example now let us erase this. Now I'll move to the next slide. For example, India is here. India is getting some oil from OPEC. Listen carefully, okay? Some oil from Russia, okay? Some oil from Gulf countries. I'll write almost all countries, Gulf countries, few Gulf countries. Some oil from some countries which will come under OPEC's Middle East countries, okay? So India has various sources of oil. Apart from this, some oil is drudged in India, Bombay High, Reliance refineries. Some oil is drudged in India. Okay. Now, for example, Russia has reduced the price of oil they are giving to India. Russia has reduced price of oil giving to India. Comparatively to other, India has got oil from Russia at lesser price. Clear? You have understood. Sonam, have you understood this scenario? It would be great if you can unmute yourself. Have you understood the scenario? Because you have asked a very intelligent question.
Yes, sir.
So now, okay, have you understood this scenario? Like OPEC, the Organization of Petroleum
Mm.
Exporting Countries, we take oil. Middle East countries, we
Yes, sir.
take oil.
Yes, sir.
है ना? We drudge some oil from India. Now, for example, Sonam, you are from which state?
Sikkim.
Sikkim. Okay. Do you ride any bike or any car?
Yes, sir.
Do you have license for it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you are from Sikkim. Now, Sonam drives her car. Okay. Sonam drives her car on the streets of Sikkim. Okay, streets मतलब roads of Sikkim. Okay, पता चले कल you are riding it on the streets of Sikkim, and okay, now you are riding your car on the roads of Sikkim. Suddenly, you run out of petrol. Okay, you run out of petrol. What will you do, Sonam?
Go to a gas station.
Goes to a gas station. Okay, then after that, what will you tell him?
I'll tell the amount
The amount. Tell,
and
tell. What will you tell? Tell the amount of.
the amount that the guy has to fill my gas.
Okay, the amount of petrol he has to fill in the petrol tank, right?
Yes, sir.
Apart from that, anything you would tell him?
No.
Okay. Now, would you tell him कि भैया रशिया का पेट्रोल डाल दो बिकॉज वो सस्ता है, वुड यू टेल हिम प्लीज पुट द रशियन पेट्रोल बिकॉज इट्स चीपर?
No, I won't.
You won't know.
No.
You know Russian petrol is cheaper. India has got crude oil from uh, Russia at a cheaper price. Put the Russian petrol in my petrol tank. Okay. Or
Mm.
the other thing what you can tell him is, see, you are now there is a guy who is at the gas station. You are telling him, Bhaiya, you put the Russian petrol because it's cheaper. Okay. Then he says, Madam, Russian petrol, I don't have Russian petrol. Madam, Russian petrol nahi hai. Then other thing you are telling him is, do one thing. The petrol which is drudged in India, for example, the petrol which is drudged in Bombay High does not cost much because you don't have to pay much taxes. Import taxes you don't have to pay. So put the petrol which is drudged in India, it is much cheaper.
Mm.
So what he would say, Madam, how would I differentiate the petrol?
Mm.
Right?
Yes, sir.
If he would have been so much studious or intelligent enough, he would not have been like standing in a gas station, right? That's also one of the thing. So see, getting petrol at a reduced price from one of the country, petrol at a reduced price from one of the country, the government cannot take immediate steps to reduce the price of petrol. But because if we are taking petrol from Russia at a cheaper price, we are paying highly to OPEC and Gulf countries for the petrol. And this fluctuation is happening daily. This fluctuation is happening daily in our country, or daily in the international market, but regularly the government is not changing the prices. Okay. So,
Mm.
like one day the yes, does the government protect the price? Amir has asked, yes, does the government protect the price against inflation in the market? Definitely. See, for example, you are from international market, for example, 100 rupees, 1 liter petrol we are getting, 1 liter petrol we are getting in the month of Feb, for example. But in the month of March, we are getting at 200 rupees. So does the government immediately change the price? No, government waits कि भाई there can be fluctuations, but I should not immediately change the price. So when the prices goes up, government takes the hit. When the prices goes down, government tries to recover from it. Got the point? Got the point, Sonam? Now after listening, Sonam has gone somewhere to buy the petrol. Sonam, are you there? Yes, Sonam has
Yes, sir.
answered. Okay. Now now let us move further. We have gone in bit international today. Let us come back to India. That is essence. Okay. Constitution. We have done. What is constitution? We have done 4 elements of state. Okay. Now, first element was territory. Now you would answer. Second element was population. Third element was government. Fourth element was sovereignty. Now, let me come back to the initial definition. Constitution, listen very carefully and answer, is a legal document. I don't have any doubt, and you should not have any doubt. It's a legal document. It consists of principles and functions of organs of state. Are you clear with this? It consists of principles and functions of organs of state. Are you, everyone is clear with this?
Yes, sir.
Now, tell me, state has 4 elements. You are also clear with this. State has 4 elements. Right? You are clear with this?
Yes.
Now, my question is, when I told you about organs of state, I told there are like organs you can consider A, B, C, right? And the constitution defines the functions of these organs and principles of these organs. Now my question is, what are the organs of state? What is this ABC? What are the organs of state?
Legislative, executive.
Finally, it has come, huh? And I was thinking you
I'm
won't answer
just
this. I was waiting for your answer only. What are the organs of state?
legislative, executive, judiciary.
Yes. What's your name?
My name is Chimila.
Okay, Chimla. Legislative, executive, and judiciary. These are the organs of state: legislative, executive, and judiciary. Okay, these are the organs of state. Now you are clear. So the constitution directly tells the what is the principles on which legislative should work, what are the principles on which through executive should work, what are the principles through which judiciary should work, and these are the principles of legislative, executive, and judiciary. And also it tells us about what is the function of legislative, executive, and judiciary. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Clear? Ye- this is what it is telling na, principles and functions of organs of state. We are clear. State, we are having four elements: territory, population, government, and sovereignty. What are the organs are legislative, executive, and judiciary. So please write down. Please write down. Organs of state are organs of state are legislative, executive, and judiciary. Organs of state are legislative, executive, and judiciary. Clear? Organs of state are legislative, executive, and judiciary. Anybody having any doubt till now? Any doubts?
No,
No doubts. Now, organs. Organs of state. Number one, legislative. Number two, executive. Number three, judiciary. Now, my question is, what is the function of legislative?
To
What is
make
the
laws.
function of? Yes, legislative. You have attended my class, right? Or
No, sir.
not? You have not attended my class. I took
Yeah.
a one class. You are answering it correctly. Good. The function of legislature is to make laws for the country. To make laws for the country. Not exactly policy making, it is to make the laws for the country. Okay. So what is legislature? What is legislature? In our country, for example, if you take the example of India, what is legislature?
The roots of Rajya Sabha.
Sabha and
Very good. Very good. The legislature is Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. The legislature is Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So the legislature has the responsibility of making laws for the country. And if I ask you how the laws are made, if I want to tell you like how the laws are made, it is very simple. I'll tell you how. Just for your understanding, I'm telling so that you have all your bases covered. For example, if a law is to be made, for example, tell me any subject on which you want a law. Tell me any subject on which you want a law.
Mathematics.
What? Mathematics? I could not hear you, dear. Once more.
gay marriage.
Gay marriage. Okay, you want a law on gay marriage. Okay. Controversial laws, huh? ठीक है भाई. You want a law on gay marriage. Okay, no issues. I truly respect your opinion. For example, if you want a law on this subject, see, firstly, a bill has to be drafted. A bill has to be drafted. So, what is a bill? A bill is something in which everything will be written, like the age of marriage, all those information will be given. Then, this bill has to be presented in Lok Sabha. Okay, this bill has to be presented in Lok Sabha. Then it has to be passed by a majority there. For example, we select class monitors, no? So those who get somebody, for example, I'll write in the next page. For example, a bill will be drafted. Bill will be drafted. For example, bill for gay marriage. Okay, and in this all those information about this law would be given, all those information like what would be the age, what are the protocols to be followed, how will you register marriage, all those information would be given. Okay, then this bill would be presented in Lok Sabha or any house. You can present it in Rajya Sabha also firstly. So bill will be presented in Lok Sabha. Then from there, once the bill passed, it will go to Rajya Sabha. It will go to Rajya Sabha. From once the bill is passed from there, once the bill is passed from there, and it will be sent to the Honorable President of India. Bill will be sent to the Honorable President of India. So the bill is firstly drafted, a rough draft of the bill is created. It will be presented in Lok Sabha. It would be passed from there by a majority. Then it would be presented in Rajya Sabha. Then it would be passed from there by another majority. Then it would be given to the Honorable President of India. When the President of India signs the bill or gives assent that I am declaring, I am okay with this bill, the bill would become act, and this act is law. Okay, so the function of law making in the country lies with legislature, that is Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Clear? So if you are to make a law on any X subject, first thing what you have to do, you have to present a bill. You have to create a bill which should like have all the information related to that subject. Then the bill has to be presented in Lok Sabha, or it is your choice. You can present in Rajya Sabha also. You can present in Rajya Sabha. Amir, I will answer your question. It can be presented in Rajya Sabha also. It has to be presented in Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. Then it will be passed to the second house, that is Rajya Sabha. Then once the president signs it, it is given. The law can become an the bill can become an act. Clear? Clear? Clear or
Yes,
not?
sir.
Yes.
Okay. Now Amir has raised a question. What is Vidhan Sabha and Vidhan Parishad? Wait, Amir, I'll answer your question. Okay. It is not supposed to be answered here, but since you have raised a question, I'll answer it here. For example, there are legislature for center level, legislature for center level, and there is legislature for state level. State level. Now understand, if we need to create a law for entire nation, law for entire nation. Okay, so the bill has to be presented in Lok Sabha. From there, it will go to Rajya Sabha. From once it is passed from here, it will go to Rajya Sabha. Once it is passed from here, it will go to the Honorable President. And if President signs the bill will become act. You are clear with this. This same procedure takes for particular state as well. Okay, this same procedure takes place for particular state as well. Okay, if now how it happens in state, law for a particular state is created through this process. Particular state, for example, you want to create a law for Sikkim. Okay, law for Sikkim, you need to present the bill in state legislative assembly. You need to present the bill in state legislative assembly, that is Vidhan Sabha, where your CM sits. Then from here the bill will go to state legislative council, that is Vidhan Parishad. Okay, but understand one thing, Every state of India does not have state legislative council. Only few states are having state legislative council. If a particular state is not having a state legislative council, the bill has not to go to state legislative council. Okay. For example, the bill is presented in state legislative assembly, that is Vidhan Sabha. Here your CM and all leader of opposition sits. Okay. Okay. Then I'll answer Umesh's question and Brijesh's question in few moments. Just give me one moment. Okay. For example, if Sikkim is not having a state legislative council, the bill will go directly after state legislative assembly. It will directly go to the governor of state, and governor signs it. Bill will become an act. Okay. For centers level, it is Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, and President. The bill will become an act. For state level, it is State Legislative Assembly. Okay, some states, if a particular state is having state legislative council, you can present the bill there. If it is not having, it will directly go to the governor, and the bill will become an act. Now, are you clear with this? Are you clear with this?
Yes, sir.
But understand one thing. See, since you guys have asked the question, ki what is Vidhan Sabha, Vidhan Parishad, I have just explained it. Right now, we won't be getting into this topic. We will be getting into this later. Okay, we will be talking from the center's perspective only. When we are introducing the basic part of the constitution, we will be talking from center's perspective. But this will be part of your syllabus. I'll tell you where to read it. We won't complicate the things. But I just wanted to explain you the concept. So I have explained it. Now, Brijesh has raised the question why some state is not having state legislative council. Okay, now some states of India is not having state legislative council because state legislative council are created with the special request of a particular state. For example, if Sikkim wishes to have a state legislative council, they have to request it to the Parliament of India. Then it would be created, and it depends upon the population and area of that state. Okay, so it is done as per the special request. Okay, it is not for every state, and you will learn this topic also in depth later. Right now you are asking why, because it is done as per the request of the state. All the states are not having a state legislative council. Have you understood, Brijesh and Amir? Are you clear with it? Yes. Now we will go bit further. We will come back to this slide. We'll come back to this. Where was it? I've written something. No, I'll write it again. See, the function of legislative, the function of legislative is to make laws. Okay, the function of legislative is to make laws. Clear? You are clear with this?
Yes, sir.
That includes Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Okay, at center level. That is all what we will do today, because I want to have a continuity of the topic for tomorrow. Then only we will understand. Whatever I have taught you, just revise it. Because see, if you revise the previous day's topic, it will help you for the overall preparation. Okay, it will really help you with the preparation. And stay assured, you will understand each and every topic in a very in-depth manner. And I will tell you in, see, all those international scenarios I'm telling now, why I'm not making you write those scenarios, because it's not part of your syllabus, but you need to understand it to have a general knowledge. Okay, so we will be discussing that stuff also. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Take care. Stay safe. Good night.
Thank you, sir.
For my question.
What is your question?
So my question
What is your
was, who is
huh.
the powerful in between Lok Sabha and
Okay, this
Rajya
was your
Sabha?
question. Okay, this was your question.
Yes.
What is, who is powerful between Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha? See, both are having their own powers. Both are having their own powers. In some matters, Lok Sabha is powerful. Okay. In some matters, Lok Sabha is powerful. For example, in case of a money bill, Lok Sabha is powerful. In case of some other matters, Rajya Sabha is powerful. So you cannot say that one is powerful for over other, but in some matters Lok Sabha is powerful and in some matters Rajya Sabha is powerful. You cannot clearly differentiate, or you cannot clearly keep one above the other. Okay, I'll narrate you the functions of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha later. But understand, you cannot say that for the entire thing Lok Sabha is powerful, for the entire thing Rajya Sabha is powerful. Both are having their own power in their own its area. Okay.
Yes, sir.
For example, in case of money bill, Lok Sabha is powerful, but in case of subjects in state list, Rajya Sabha is powerful. So they have their own powers in respective areas, and we would discuss that in detail. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Good night.
Good night, sir.